All right, while the nation awaits the official Supreme Court ruling that could impact women's access to abortion, protests continue outside the homes of conservative Supreme Court justices. Let's take a look at the scene last night outside Justice Amy Coney Barrett's house. This comes after a California man was arrested this week for attempting to murder Justice Brett Kavanaugh. Joining us now to discuss, distinguished university professor at Touro College, Thane Rosenbaum, and former FBI agent and Navy SEAL Jonathan Gilliam. Jonathan, when you look at these things going on, threats can turn dangerous very quickly. And to let this continue to go on kind of shows how they're not taking it seriously. Am I wrong on that?
Well, you're not wrong, because they're taking advice from somebody who's never been trained in security. Nancy Pelosi has never been a police officer in the military or been trained as an attacker. And as somebody who's done all those things, I'm here to tell you that if you wait until the threat arrives and you don't think about the probability or the possibility, and you don't think about the avenue of approach and the vulnerabilities, and have a good threat assessment and then adequate numbers of people to carry out the security that you have identified needs to be there, well, then you're going to fall short. And as we see here, there are people that are targeting these justices. This guy in particular was a liberal. And I find it very interesting that the media and the politicians just skipped right over it.
Yeah, here is, by the way, Kilmeny Dukard, our congressional correspondent, asking Nancy Pelosi about the attempt on Justice Kavanaugh's life and whether other justices might be in jeopardy as well.
Were protected when there was an attempt on Justice Kavanaugh's life. You said the justices are protected, but there was an attempt on Justice Kavanaugh's life.
It's protected. The justices are protected. This issue is not about the justices. It's about staff and the rest. The justices are protected. You saw the Attorney General even double down on that.
But this is about security for the justices. An armed man showed up near Justice Kavanaugh's house.
There will be a bill, but nobody is in danger over the weekend because of our not having a bill.
Okay, now she seems to be saying there, Thane, there is a bill that passed the Senate, I believe. It's sitting in the House. Pelosi, Speaker of the House. The Speaker of the House can bring this up for a vote, and it would fund protection for these justices, which, as we're seeing, and as Jonathan is pointing out, they may not be taken seriously enough. Thane, your take on that?
Well, I think she was trying to say that the bill covers also the family members.
Right, and clerks.
As well as
yeah.
And the law clerks and the staff, the secretarial staff. So I think she was saying, hey, the United States Code already protects federal judges from people coming to their homes and threatening them, intimidating them, or trying to influence them. So that I think she's trying to say they're already protected. It didn't work. The question is, why didn't it work? It certainly didn't help when a United States senator also threatened the Supreme Court. I don't even know what he meant when Schumer said, we will unleash the whirlwind and there's a price to pay. Remember, Bob, Supreme Court justices, federal judges are not supposed to be guided by public sentiment. They're not politicians. They have lifetime appointment. They're not subject to the vagaries of the electorate. And in fact, the draft opinion that Alito wrote in the Dobbs case literally says abortion is not a legal matter under the Constitution. It is a political and a moral matter, and it should be kicked back to the states through the public and their elected representatives. So that's the irony, that we're threatening federal judges, treating them like politicians, when the law is very clear. You can't intimidate a judge because he or she is not supposed to be guided by public sentiment, only guided by their interpretation of the Constitution.
Yeah, because the process is political when you pick a justice, okay, just by definition. But that's why they go in front of the Senate. After that point, once you're on the court, that's not supposed to be political. That's why there's a law against going to somebody's home and trying to change their ruling, doing their job based on your politics, and especially in these cases, Jonathan, can be very threatening. And let's not forget, we had the disgruntled guy that went to the judge's house in New Jersey and went to shoot her, shot her 17-year-old son dead. There was another shooting the other day.
In Michigan.
Yes, in Michigan. And now they pick up this guy. Go ahead, Jonathan.
No, it's interesting. One thing that we have to realize is that, first of all, we have too many people with too big of a platform that are not experts. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is law enforcement needs to realize that they themselves are working outside the confines of the Constitution and doing things that are not covered by the Constitution. For instance, allowing these protesters, and this just didn't just start with Kavanaugh, this has been going on for a long time, to march through neighborhoods, go into restaurants and intimidate people and go to their homes and disrupt it. Bob, if you went outside your neighborhood and started yelling at night, you're going to get arrested for disturbing this peace. And if you're doing it particularly to somebody, it's going to be probably threatening or some type of intimidation. You're going to get arrested.
Yeah.
These people are not protected under free speech when they're going and intimidating and disturbing the peace. It's not peaceable. And law enforcement needs to realize this. I've seen this over and over again where they think that they're allowing people to exercise their First Amendment rights, but it's not true.
That's
and so
not, yeah,
within that is the threat. The threat can lie in there because you don't know who these people are. So you're mixing a security issue with a misunderstanding of the First Amendment.
That's why there's a federal law against it. And for beefing up security, the bill that is sitting in the House, my theory on this thing, and I'm getting political on this, of course, I think they don't intend to pass it, if they pass it at all. But if they pass it, they're going to wait until this Dobbs ruling comes out.
Absolutely. Look, remember, we've seen this. We started seeing this through the Black Lives Matter protests. The woke playbook essentially says that we're not having a disagreement with you. You're simply wrong.
Right.
And everything is fair game. No matter what we do, we could scream at you at a restaurant, as Jonathan just said. We can follow you home. We can disrupt neighborhoods. We can violate federal law and protest outside your house. And again, they could try to make an argument that the First Amendment gives them the right to peaceful assembly, but not with respect to federal judges who are not supposed to be influenced by public sentiment.
Right,
and when people show up to your house, it's pretty threatening no matter what they do.
Of course it is.
Showing up, it's threatening. But again, it's a certain, there's right thinking that we will permit, and there's wrong thinking that we will not protect. And when it comes to this matter, on the issue of abortion, there's only one solution. You cannot be in favor of life. And if you are, everything is fair game. There is no way to protect you. And we need to make sure that you understand, no matter, even a United States senator can say, you have a price to pay. And I don't even know what he means when he said a price to pay.
Oh, yeah, you're referring to Schumer, but which, just to bring it back to Pelosi, it just appears that she's okay with these going on the outside chance that it has some kind of influence on the upcoming decision. She seems okay with it. But gentlemen, we're going to have to leave it there. I appreciate the conversation. Thane, Jonathan, thank you so much.
Thank you, John.
Got it.
Thank you.